Hello, I'm Breege Burke from Transition Life Coaching, and this video that I'm recording, we'll see whether or not this one makes it to YouTube or to my channel. The point of this is um, to I want to try to channel Azrael in real time on video so people can see what that would look like if I was doing that in a session for a person. Now, one thing that's you have to bear in mind is that typically if I'm going to be channeling him specifically for somebody, I'm going to have some specific questions that that person may want answered. Okay, so it would vary. For right now, I am just sort of going to be tuning in and finding out if because he seemed to come through this morning definitely with a message that he wanted to say something to people. And normally the way that I channel Azrael is I just I invoke him, and then as I'm doing a live stream, as I'm doing some other kind of work, as I'm doing a reading for somebody, whatever that he might need to know, he just uses me. It comes into my mind, and it's kind of this mouthpiece that I'm the mouthpiece for him, basically. And so it's not necessarily that we have a formal kind of sit down, because one of the things about angelic presences is that they frequently they're not necessarily always conversational. Okay, so they tend to move and act with purpose. So for Azrael to say to me, okay, no, I want to, I have something I want to say, rather than coming through and answering a yes or no question or appearing to do a thing and then disappearing very quickly. I'm gonna give this a try. If there's editing in here, it may be because there's gaps of things that are not either things not happening or things not seen. So I'm going to do is begin with my Enochian invocation of Azrael. It's one personal one that I've written, and then I'm going to kind of sit back and take some breaths, and I'm going to see what comes through here. So we'll see where this goes. Okay. Om Lim Azrael Niso Pamt Ozazam De Wanun Ozazam De Oprot Odo Chiklepi Kokaspa. Amen. Past is very important for somebody. You feel it really strongly. Somebody has something that they have to finish. It's something connected to family. The word healing comes to mind. The world is very much caught up right now in ancestral trauma. And that trauma informs our split. The family lineage is supposed to be a guarantor of immortality. But that's become fragmented. Ancestry is not the determinant anymore. It's not a matter of going back to it. Death is always equal to life. Where there's too much life, there's inevitably death. Things happen in cycles, and the cycle is ending. People are very afraid, but they need to not be afraid. Fear and retreat are the worst things you can do right now. I'm the angel of death, but I say to you to be alive. You need to be alive. Do not run away from this world. You need not fear me, because when you are no longer here, you still exist somewhere. You are still everywhere. There are many of you. You wear different faces, but it's only as you. People have been dead for a long time. The world has been dead. People have forgotten about life. People think life is bad. But it's living your life that allows you to embrace death when your time is up. We all have time that we can control, and time that we can't control. I run on time. I don't come before it's time. People treat me as a horror, but I'm a wonder. Because when you see me, you see what it means to be alive. Your life is not pre-planned. It unfolds every day. Humans waste so much time on plans. Because they think plans will give them power. Your power is in being alive. Nobody knows how to be alive. It's forgotten. Death is forgotten. Death is devalued. Because death is part of what makes you alive. Life and death are not separate things. They're two parts of the same thing. Do not take for granted that the Earth's heart will always be open. Everyone licks their wounds. Everybody hides. Don't hide. The world is changing in ways that you can't imagine, that you can't guess, because your way of knowing is not the way. You have to be open to a new way. But people will cling to the past. They'll cling to the old way. They'll lose their minds and fight for the old way. This should not make you afraid. Living in truth takes work, but it's worth the work. Everything is dying energetically, but it's dying to become something else. It never really goes away. Allow yourself to go with that. That's why I'm here. Death is not just physical. You don't want to be stuck in the past. You don't want to be a walking corpse. You're too much in your head. Peace comes from embracing life and death. And lose your horror of being alive. Life is a terrible thing. But it's also wonderful. You have no idea how lucky you are to have life. You don't want immortal life. Though it's something in some sense you have. You don't want to live in one body forever. Even if your sciences could keep you alive, which they cannot. Why would you spend your time, all that time, in one body? People want to defy time. They think they can defy time. They think they can cheat death. They think they can cheat the flow of life, that they can control the flow of life. But they are nothing without the rest of the flow of life. Ultimately, when you try to cheat death, you cheat yourself. There would be no need to worry if you were alive, if you lived. You lived fully. If you lived here, not in some other place, that your mind tells you you are or that you need to be. What is your identity? It's something you've created. A version of yourself, a picture, something you think you want to be, something you think that you mistake for what you are. It's the role that you play. Your roles will change many times. In this lifetime and many other lifetimes. You are many different people at the same time. You can only focus on being one at a time. When you stop focusing on being one, you focus on another one. And that is really terrifying for people for some reason. I'm there to help people, not to make them afraid, but people are always afraid. Why does crisis happen? Crisis happens because you don't want to look at things for what they are. Or you think there's more to your control than what there is. There is no above or below. It's all a hallucination. What you see is so little of what's there. Be wary, because not everything you see is the same. Not everything that's out there that you don't understand is the same. There are many helpers. There are many vampires. There are many drainers. You will know the difference. You will know it in your body. You are terrified and someone tells you they are the only ones who can save you, no matter what name they call themselves. They can't save you. They enjoy your fear because they can feed on it. Some portals expand your knowledge. Others are gateway to forces that would take away your freedom. Choose wisely. Awareness and knowledge are not the same. There needs to be an awareness of where knowledge is inappropriate. Some knowledge is dangerous. People who listen to this are people who are challenged to think about things differently, do something differently. Look at your soul origin. Whoever you are, not necessarily what your origin is. Some people are gatekeepers, not to keep people out, because often people don't want to walk through the gate that they need to walk through. The idea of a gatekeeper who won't let them pass is a lie. The only time one is kept out of a gate is if it's not a place that is meant for them to pass through. If it's not part of the path. The real path is a labyrinth. Because for everything you can see, you don't know what's on the path. You think you're reaching your goal and you're very far away. Then you reach your goal after many times of expecting that you'll never reach it. You get there. When you get to the end of the goal, you start all over again. And so it is, back and forth, up and down. Around and around. In elements go. I visit you in many forms. I can visit you as animals. I can visit you as people you know. So you have seen me and not realized you've seen me. I'm always there. And if you're afraid of me, how can you get on with your life? How can you dance? We all think we don't have enough time. You think you don't have enough time. You do so many things because you don't have enough time. Everybody has enough time. And if they need to finish something, frequently we have things we want to finish. Not everything will be finished. And you can't help that. Pay attention and you'll know what you need to finish for the next thing. Don't worry about time. I worry about time. I watch everything. I have 1,000 eyes. You only need to worry about now. Worry about now. And don't be afraid. That's all for now. The rest is private.